Live shot from Singapore, Sentosa Island, where a historic meeting has taken place. No sitting president has ever met or spoken on the phone with a North Korean leader until now. And President Trump not only has met with Kim Jong-un, they have signed a joint document agreeing to complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. And we are back with that Fox News alert. North Korea agreeing to that following this high-stakes summit with President Trump. UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, though, being praised for her role. A lot of people involved in this behind the scenes before and leading up to yesterday, bringing, of course, the rogue regime to the negotiating table. Todd Piro is here with that angle of it and a closer look on how we got here. Todd, lots of people working on it.
Absolutely, Heather. While Haley wasn't at the Singapore summit, she played a key role in achieving what we just saw. Specifically, she got all 15 members of the UN Security Council, including both China and Russia, to deliver crippling sanctions that left North Korea with little choice other than to negotiate.
3 resolutions were passed in the United Nations unanimously by the Security Council that cut off all exports, 90% of trade, 30% of oil, disband their labor pool. When so many times they say sanctions don't work, this is an example of where they do work.
Now, following North Korea's test of an intercontinental ballistic missile that they said could reach the U.S., those 3 resolutions Nikki Haley just mentioned caused unprecedented economic hurt on the North Koreans. And while the Obama administration managed to get China and Russia to agree to new sanctions in 2016, it was Ambassador Haley who refused to, quote, accept the obstructionist position of her recalcitrant Russian and Chinese counterparts, end quote. That's according to her former spokesperson. She made it clear that the U.S. was prepared to end the North Korean threat on its own if necessary, which forced Beijing and Moscow to finally act. According to senior White House officials in a statement to Fox News, Ambassador Haley's diplomacy behind the scenes, in particular with the Chinese ambassador here, as well as the Russian ambassador, made it very, very clear that we were not kidding around. We were literally just one more provocation away from some kind of a military action that would bring great harm to the entire region, and that the threat we perceive from North Korea's development was no longer theoretical by any means. Now, thereafter, Mike Pompeo had his famous Easter weekend meeting with Kim Jong-un, followed by another meeting to set up the summit, as well as to secure the release of those 3 hostages. And despite President Trump canceling the talks just a few weeks ago, they were back on a few days later. And Heather, here we are.
Yeah, I mean, it really has happened very quickly when you talk about when all of this began and Little Rocket Man, right. All of that began. And we said, you know, a lot of people very concerned about President Trump's rhetoric there. But now we have this agreement.
We had years of fits and stops. Today,
yeah.
We've got to start.
You were talking about the sanctions. I was looking to see the details of what the United States is promising in this, and the details of that not included in this joint agreement. All it says is that President Trump committed to provide security guarantees to the DPRK.
And my guess is we'll find out more about this over the course of the next couple hours.
More negotiations.
Right, correct.
All right. Thank you so much.
No problem.